Good day to everyone here. I'll be talking about my thesis, which is on effective strategies to prevent underachievement of gifted learners in the regular primary classroom in Singapore. Firstly, I'll be speaking about the necessity of early identification. Secondly, I'll be touching on the need for inclusion. Thirdly, I will talk about strategic solutions for the gifted. Finally, I'll give my concluding thoughts. According to Ministry of Education in Singapore, testing for giftedness in Singapore government schools currently take place only at 10 years old. Students are then segregated into gifted programs, which are offered only in certain schools. They are often required to migrate to another school if needed. However, gifted learners should be identified before formal schooling and learning take place in a regular classroom with other peers who might not be gifted and talented. On my next slide, I'm speaking on the necessity of early identification. According to Muji, children who are not intellectually challenged in their preschool years can develop negative emotions about preschool and primary school. Constant low motivation and poor work habits often lead to early underachievement. Gifted learners need to activate their cognitive, social, and emotional abilities above their actual performance levels in order to experience challenges and motivation in learning. Anderson and Edna supports the idea of identifying earlier. As children at risk for underdevelopment of their potential could receive support services as setting appropriate goals and providing support for learning tasks appropriate to the child's needs to optimize development in the learner. However, when identification takes place at 10 years old, due to lack of performance from the underachieving gifted learners, there will be no teachers' identification and recommendation for gifted programs. This is supported by Berner and Newberg, where they demonstrated how gifted underachievers improved after MR tasks, which clearly indicated that the gifted underachievers were not challenged enough. In the following slide, I'll be talking about the need for inclusion. It is vital for academically successful children to be exposed to and to learn from children who are talented in ways that are not determined by early gifted and talented tests. Studies by Barker, Wang, and Walbert have shown that segregation of students often leads to poorer academic and social outcomes. Another study by Pitzma and Berger concludes that they will be unable to perform well in cognitive tasks and function well psychologically. However, a study by Modin, Karvonen, Rakkonen, and Oxford contradicts and show that minimal segregation can lead to high stress levels in students. Thus, it shows segregations allow students to learn at their own pace and be at low risk for stress. Up next, on my next slide, I'll be touching on strategic solutions for the gifted. Demonstration, instruction, and universal design for learning can be applied for successful inclusive education. Both promote challenges and provide options for demonstrate learning. A study by Tomlinson learned that differentiation is more effective when it's employed in a small group setting within regular classrooms and variable pacing is utilized to meet students' needs. This verdict is backed by Lorman, Depler, and Harvey that curriculum amendments are most operative when applied at the planning stage rather than applied successfully. This reinforces universal design for learning in preference to differentiation. In addition to that, Blacker and Kellerman 2014 stresses the importance of the need for content or subject curriculum and grade-based acceleration for gifted learners instead of having an age-based curriculum. In my final slide, I'll be giving my concluding thoughts. Gifted education and the concept of giftedness have been always changing. Plucker and Kellerman has stressed on the latest theory of giftedness that it results from combination of cognitive and psychosocial variables. In spite of that, Corman, Sadler, Kammerer, Georgetz, and Turvin observed that mostly educators rarely focus on the working memory of the child In other words, a child who has a typical behavior and often produces poor grades, has conflict with teachers, and is disinterested in school, but clearly have a good working memory, might indicate that the child is gifted. With this in mind, Wood indicated that those who are under-identified might be suffering from learning difficulties and poor attention span. Teachers often do not identify them as gifted as they are masked by these issues. Therefore, identification of giftedness by just mere IQ scores is not sufficient. The domains and definitions of giftedness should be reassessed. Thank you.